This time, BYD has taken a different approach. As electric vehicles continue to gain popularity around the world, the story isn't just about batteries or EVs anymore. Instead, the spotlight is on BYD's latest hybrid engine. At first, the announcement didn't seem particularly groundbreaking. However, as more details emerged, it quickly began attracting attention across the automotive industry. The big question is simple. Has BYD developed a powertrain that successfully combines the best aspects of electric and traditional gasoline technology, creating something that could potentially change the future of transportation? BYD's new hybrid engine is designed for people who are tired of worrying about charging stations but are also frustrated by constantly rising fuel prices. On the outside, the vehicle may appear like any other modern car, but the advanced technology hidden beneath the surface is what truly sets it apart. According to BYD, this hybrid system delivers longer driving range while consuming less fuel. It offers a smooth and comfortable driving experience and is capable of adapting to various conditions, whether you're navigating city traffic or cruising on the highway. Most importantly, BYD is presenting this technology not merely as another option, but as an essential solution for the future of mobility. While many automakers are moving in a similar direction, BYD has chosen a unique path. Perhaps that's why discussions about its hybrid technology have expanded beyond China and spread throughout Asia, Europe, and other global markets. Yet one question continues to generate curiosity. What makes this hybrid engine so significant that it has captured the attention of major automotive companies worldwide? And could this technology become the preferred choice for everyday drivers in the years ahead? To answer these questions, let's first take a closer look at BYD itself. Understanding any breakthrough technology requires understanding the company behind it, where it came from, how it evolved, and what it has achieved over the years. BYD's current success didn't happen overnight. It is the result of decades of dedication, smart decision-making, and the ability to recognize opportunities at the right time. What many people don't realize is that BYD wasn't originally a car manufacturer. The company was founded in China in 1995, and its primary focus was producing rechargeable batteries for mobile phones. At a time when brands like Nokia and Motorola dominated the mobile phone market, BYD was building its reputation as a battery supplier. During those years, the company gained valuable expertise in battery technology, a capability that would later become one of its greatest competitive advantages. In 2003, BYD entered the automotive industry. At the time, many observers questioned the decision. How could a battery company successfully build cars? But BYD had a different vision. Today, BYD is much more than a car manufacturer. The company develops electric vehicles, hybrid vehicles, batteries, electric buses, trucks, and large-scale energy storage solutions. Over the past several years, its strong focus on innovation has attracted widespread attention throughout the automotive sector, particularly in battery technology. One of its most notable innovations was the Blade battery, which gained recognition for its enhanced safety and long lifespan. The goal wasn't simply to increase driving range, it was also to address real-world concerns, such as battery fires and system failures. When it comes to hybrid technology, BYD's decision wasn't driven by necessity. It was a carefully planned strategy. While much of the world was rushing toward fully electric vehicles, BYD recognized an important reality. Not every country, city, or customer was ready to make a complete transition to EVs. With this understanding, the company developed its DMI and DMP hybrid systems. In these platforms, the electric motor plays the primary role, while the gasoline engine serves mainly as a support system. The result is improved fuel efficiency, smoother performance, and a significant reduction in the charging concerns that many potential EV buyers still experience. BYD's sales performance reflects the growing acceptance of this approach. In recent years, the company has consistently reported strong growth. Last year alone, BYD sold more than 3 million vehicles worldwide, including both electric and hybrid models. This achievement is especially noteworthy because it demonstrates strong demand not only for BYD's fully electric vehicles, but also for its hybrid offerings. Beyond China, BYD continues to expand its presence across Asia, Europe, and numerous other international markets. Over the years, the company has done more than simply sell vehicles. It has promoted a broader vision of the future. BYD believes that the future of transportation will not be shaped by a single solution. In some regions, electric vehicles may be the ideal choice. In others, hybrid vehicles may offer a more practical and realistic alternative. That is why the company continues investing in multiple technologies rather than focusing on only one. It is advancing battery development, improving electric motors, refining software systems, and increasing engine efficiency simultaneously. This brings us to an important question. Why did BYD place such a strong bet on hybrids during the global race toward electric vehicles? While many automakers were aggressively pursuing all-electric strategies, BYD took a more measured approach. Instead of blindly following the trend, the company stepped back, carefully analyzed market realities, and developed a strategy designed to address the needs of today's consumers while preparing for tomorrow's transportation landscape. BYD has always acknowledged that electric vehicles represent the future of transportation. There's little debate about that. However, the company asked a different question. Is the transition to electric vehicles happening at the same pace everywhere, for everyone, and under all conditions? This is where BYD's perspective differs from many other automakers. While most companies focused primarily on selling as many EVs as possible, BYD spent time understanding the concerns that continue to hold buyers back. Why are so many people still hesitant to move away from petrol and diesel vehicles? One of the biggest reasons is charging infrastructure. On paper, electric vehicles appear convenient and practical. Advertisements often highlight their benefits, but the real-world experience can be quite different. Although charging stations are becoming more common in major cities, availability remains limited in many smaller towns, rural areas, and along long highway routes. For many drivers, planning a long journey in an EV still comes with concerns. Will there be a charging station along the way? What happens if it's occupied or out of service? These uncertainties create anxiety that many consumers are not ready to accept. BYD recognized that this issue isn't just about technology, it's about trust. Until drivers feel confident that their vehicles can perform reliably in every situation, widespread EV adoption will remain a challenge. The second major obstacle is affordability. While there is constant discussion about electric vehicles becoming more affordable, many models still remain expensive for average buyers. Concerns about battery costs, future replacement expenses, and resale value continue to influence purchasing decisions. BYD understood that many people genuinely want the benefits of electric mobility, but financial limitations often prevent them from making the switch. This is where hybrid vehicles emerged as a practical middle ground. They offer lower fuel consumption and improved efficiency without requiring customers to fully commit to a pure electric vehicle. Another important factor is familiarity. Millions of drivers have spent years behind the wheel of petrol and diesel vehicles. For them, the routine of refueling, the sound of an engine, and the confidence that comes with a familiar system still matter. While EVs offer impressive technology, some consumers remain concerned about what might happen if something goes wrong with a completely new system. BYD understood that major changes don't happen overnight. People need time to build confidence in new technologies. Hybrid vehicles serve as a bridge between the old and the new. They combine the efficiency and smooth performance of an electric motor with the reassurance and familiarity of a traditional petrol engine. The company also recognized that every market faces different challenges. The transition to electric vehicles may be progressing rapidly in China, Europe, and other developed regions, but many parts of Asia, Africa, and Latin America are still developing the infrastructure necessary for widespread EV adoption. In these regions, electricity networks, charging facilities, and transportation infrastructure may not yet be fully prepared to support large-scale EV usage. BYD realized that focusing exclusively on electric vehicles could potentially leave a significant portion of customers behind. That's why the company views hybrid technology not as a compromise, but as a practical and intelligent solution. Importantly, BYD's investment in hybrids does not mean it has lost faith in electric vehicles. Instead, the company chose to pursue both technologies simultaneously. Its strategy is based on a simple belief. There is no one-size-fits-all solution in today's automotive market. In some situations, fully electric vehicles are the best option. In others, hybrids provide greater flexibility and convenience. This philosophy guided the development of BYD's hybrid technology. The system is designed to rely heavily on electric power while minimizing the role of the petrol engine. This approach helps reduce fuel consumption, improve efficiency, and deliver a smoother driving experience. So, how does BYD's hybrid system actually work? At first glance, hybrid technology may seem complicated, but BYD designed its system to be simple and effortless from the driver's perspective. There are no complicated settings to manage and no constant switching between modes. You simply start the vehicle and drive, while the system automatically handles everything in the background. At its core, the system combines two power sources, a petrol engine and an electric motor. What makes it different is the way these components work together. They don't operate at full capacity all the time. Instead, the system intelligently chooses the most efficient power source based on driving conditions. During low-speed driving, such as navigating city traffic, stopping at intersections, or traveling short distances, the electric motor does most of the work. In these situations, the petrol engine either remains off or operates very minimally. This provides two major benefits. First, fuel consumption is significantly reduced. Second, the driving experience becomes noticeably quieter and smoother. When driving conditions change, such as cruising on a highway, increasing speed, or requiring rapid acceleration, the system automatically determines when additional power is needed. At that point, the petrol engine becomes active. However, unlike traditional vehicles, the engine's role is often supportive rather than primary. In many situations, the engine doesn't directly drive the wheels. Instead, it generates electricity to recharge the battery, allowing the electric motor to continue powering the vehicle efficiently. The entire process happens seamlessly in the background. The driver doesn't need to think about which power source is being used. The system manages everything automatically, ensuring smooth performance, efficient energy use, and a comfortable driving experience throughout the journey. One of the biggest advantages of BYD's hybrid system is its simplicity. Everything works automatically, so the driver never has to think about whether the car is running on the electric motor or the petrol engine. There are no complicated settings, no EV mode to activate, and no hybrid mode to select. The system constantly analyzes driving conditions and chooses the most efficient power source on its own. If the battery has enough charge and the car is moving at lower speeds, the electric motor takes over. When more power is required or the battery charge drops, the petrol engine automatically steps in. The transition is so smooth that most drivers never even notice when the switch happens. Imagine your daily commute, to work. Part of the journey involves stop-and-go traffic, while the rest is on open roads. In traffic, the car mainly relies on the electric motor, helping reduce fuel consumption. Once the road opens up and speed increases, the petrol engine provides additional support. When you slow down or apply the brakes, the system captures energy that would normally be lost and stores it back in the battery. This process helps keep the battery charged without requiring frequent external charging. BYD designed the system to make driving effortless. Drivers don't need to monitor battery levels or decide when to switch between power sources. The vehicle handles everything automatically. That's why someone driving a hybrid for the first time can adapt immediately. It feels just like driving a regular petrol car, except with better fuel economy and a smoother, quieter ride. Another major advantage is peace of mind. If the battery charge becomes low, the petrol engine is available to keep the vehicle moving. Likewise, if fuel is running low, the electric motor can still power the car for short distances. This built-in backup gives drivers extra confidence and reduces the fear of being stranded unexpectedly. When people hear about new automotive technology, one common concern is reliability. Many buyers wonder what will happen if something breaks down years later. Since purchasing a car is a major investment, people think beyond features and mileage. They also consider long-term maintenance costs, servicing requirements, and overall dependability. Some assume that because a hybrid combines both an engine and an electric motor, it must be more complicated and more likely to develop problems. However, BYD has designed its hybrid technology to remain practical and easy to maintain. The petrol engine, for example, doesn't work as hard as it does in a traditional petrol vehicle. Since the electric motor handles much of the driving, the engine runs less frequently, produces less heat, and experiences less wear and tear. This can help extend engine life and reduce maintenance needs over time. The same philosophy applies to the battery and electric motor. BYD's long history in battery technology has allowed the company to focus heavily on safety and durability. The battery used in a hybrid is also smaller than the one found in a fully electric vehicle, meaning it faces less stress during everyday use. The system carefully manages charging and discharging cycles to help maintain battery health over the long term. Maintenance remains familiar for most owners. Regular services still involve routine items such as engine oil, filters, and inspections. One benefit of the hybrid system is that regenerative braking reduces wear on the brake pads, helping them last longer and potentially lowering maintenance costs. BYD also designed its hybrid system with reliability as a top priority. If one part of the system requires support, the other can continue helping the vehicle operate. This built-in redundancy gives drivers confidence that a minor issue is less likely to leave the car unusable. Perhaps most importantly, BYD did not rely on unproven experiments. Instead, the company focused on technologies that have already demonstrated reliability in real-world conditions, creating a hybrid system designed to be efficient, practical, and dependable for everyday drivers. Rather than filling the vehicle with unnecessary new components, BYD focused on using fewer but highly dependable parts. As a result, a system that may seem complicated on paper feels simple, stable, and reliable in everyday driving. This approach is especially important when we look at the global automobile market. One common mistake is assuming that every country is ready for EVs at the same pace. BYD recognized early that the reality is very different. A solution that works perfectly in Europe or major metropolitan cities may not be practical in many parts of Asia, Africa, or rural regions. In large Asian cities, charging infrastructure is growing rapidly, but outside urban areas, the situation is often very different. Smaller towns and villages may have limited charging facilities, and in some places, electricity supply itself can be inconsistent. BYD understood that relying only on EVs would leave many potential customers behind. That's why the company viewed hybrid technology as a practical bridge, offering better efficiency without requiring a fully developed charging network. The same logic applies to many developing countries. For most buyers, the priorities are simple. The vehicle must be affordable, reliable, and capable of handling daily use without problems. When people hear about EVs, they often ask practical questions. How long will the battery last? What happens if it needs replacement? Where will I charge it? BYD realized that the transition to new technology happens gradually. Hybrids allow people to enjoy many of the benefits of electric driving while still having the confidence of a traditional petrol engine. The challenge becomes even greater in rural areas. Charging stations are still rare in many villages, and road conditions can be unpredictable. Drivers often need a vehicle that can travel long distances and perform reliably regardless of road quality. In these situations, a hybrid offers flexibility. If the battery charge becomes low, the petrol engine takes over, allowing the journey to continue without interruption. This makes the vehicle practical for a much wider range of users and environments. Another factor BYD considered was the difference in energy costs around the world. In some countries, electricity is inexpensive and widely available. In others, it can be costly or unreliable. Fuel prices also vary significantly from one region to another. Because of this, a single solution may not work everywhere. BYD's hybrid system adapts to local conditions. When electric driving is the most efficient option, the motor does most of the work. When additional power or range is needed, the petrol engine provides support. Government policies also differ from country to country. Some nations offer strong incentives for EVs, while others provide little support. Charging networks are expanding rapidly in some markets, but remain limited in others. BYD's hybrid strategy allows the company to operate successfully across different markets without depending on a single technology. Consider a typical family living in a small town. Most of their daily driving takes place within the city, where the vehicle can rely heavily on electric power and reduce fuel costs. But when they need to travel long distances, they don't have to worry about finding charging stations because the petrol engine is available whenever needed. This balance between efficiency and convenience is one of the biggest reasons hybrids continue to attract attention, particularly in regions where EV infrastructure is still developing. The same practical thinking can be seen in BYD's pricing strategy. Many people wonder whether hybrid vehicles are designed only for buyers of expensive cars. BYD's answer is clear. Hybrids should be accessible to ordinary customers as well. The company's goal has been to position hybrids between traditional petrol cars and fully electric vehicles. They are aimed at people who want lower fuel costs and modern technology, but are not ready to pay the higher upfront price of many EVs. BYD recognized that this price gap is one of the biggest barriers to EV adoption. Petrol cars are usually cheaper to purchase, but more expensive to operate over time. EVs can be cheaper to run, but often cost more to buy. To create a practical middle ground, BYD carefully balanced battery size, avoided unnecessary expensive components, and focused only on technologies that provide real value to customers. The result is a hybrid vehicle that offers efficiency, reliability, and affordability without adding features that simply increase the price. Now let's talk about fuel efficiency, because this is where many people get confused. The mileage figures shown in advertisements are usually achieved under ideal testing conditions. In the real world, traffic, road quality, weather, and driving habits all affect fuel consumption. BYD understands this reality. Instead of focusing only on laboratory numbers, the company highlights how its hybrid system performs during everyday driving. The biggest advantage of a hybrid becomes clear in city traffic. In stop-and-go conditions, traditional petrol engines consume a lot of fuel. BYD's hybrid system allows the electric motor to handle most of the driving during these situations. As a result, fuel consumption drops, engine noise is reduced, and the energy normally lost during braking is recovered and stored back in the battery. This is why many drivers experience better than expected efficiency in daily city use. On highways, the system continues to work intelligently. The petrol engine provides power when needed, while the electric motor assists whenever possible. This reduces the workload on the engine and helps keep fuel consumption under control over long distances. Of course, real-world mileage will always vary depending on driving conditions, but the goal is consistency. The hybrid system is designed to deliver dependable performance whether you're driving in the city or on the highway. This raises an important question. Could hybrid technology become a challenge for pure EV manufacturers? The answer isn't straightforward. BYD doesn't position hybrids as a replacement for EVs. Instead, it sees them as another path toward cleaner transportation. However, in markets where EV adoption is still slow, hybrids naturally attract buyers who are not yet ready to go fully electric. Many consumers ask a simple question: why invest in a fully electric vehicle right now when a hybrid offers excellent fuel economy, lower upfront costs, and no dependence on charging infrastructure? This isn't really a battle between technologies. It's about different customer needs. Some buyers are fully prepared to embrace electric vehicles, while others simply want a practical, affordable, and reliable car that fits their current lifestyle. For those customers, hybrids often feel like the safer choice. This is especially true in countries where charging networks are still developing and electricity infrastructure is not yet fully prepared for mass EV adoption. When most people buy a car, they don't focus only on technology. They think about everyday concerns. How much will it cost to run each month? Will it be reliable? Will it hold its value over time? BYD's hybrid strategy appears to be built around these questions. For the average driver, ownership costs matter just as much as the purchase price. Since the electric motor handles much of the driving in city conditions, fuel expenses can be noticeably lower. Over time, those savings become meaningful. Another major concern is range anxiety. Many people like the idea of an EV but worry about running out of charge during long trips. A hybrid reduces this concern by combining an electric motor with a petrol engine. Drivers can enjoy the benefits of electric driving without constantly thinking about charging stations. Reliability is equally important. Most people want a vehicle that starts every morning, handles daily commutes, family trips, and weekend drives without causing stress. A hybrid provides extra confidence because it has two power sources working together. If one system needs support, the other can help keep the vehicle moving. Maintenance is another area where buyers often worry about new technology. Many assume advanced systems automatically mean higher costs. In reality, hybrid systems can reduce wear on certain components. Since the engine operates less frequently and regenerative braking helps reduce brake wear, some maintenance expenses may actually be lower over time. Perhaps the biggest advantage is that drivers don't need to change their habits. There's no complicated learning curve, no constant charging schedule, and no major adjustment to daily life. The vehicle behaves like a normal car while quietly improving efficiency in the background. Finally, there's resale value. Many buyers think about resale before they even make a purchase. In several markets, questions still remain about long-term EV battery health and second-hand demand. Hybrids offer a balance because they retain the familiarity of a petrol engine while incorporating modern electric technology. For many second-hand buyers, this creates additional confidence. They know the vehicle can operate under a wide range of conditions, which can help support resale value over time. In the end, BYD's hybrid approach isn't about chasing trends. It's about offering a practical solution for people who want lower running costs, dependable performance, and modern technology without changing the way they drive every day. If you enjoy automotive and technology insights like these, be sure to subscribe for more updates and in-depth analysis.